Welcome to day 2 in our week of Webisodes for 2017, and today we're starting off with something that is quite timeless. That's right, we have a timeless collection and then something else.
We do. We have papers, dazzles, foiled fancies, ribbons, and a cutting die.
Oh, you told them.
Well, yeah.
Okay, come play with us. Well, here is the timeless collection. It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful. Timeless colorings and everything. And I think we're going to start with the papers.
We are, but we've got ribbons, we've got framed foiled fancies, we have copper dazzles, 79 of them on 2 8x9 sheets, and then the timeless treasure papers. So let's look at the papers, because that's always the base of everything. And this is hot off the press, so that's going to tell you you're going to get ideas on the packaging, both on the front and on the back. And
wonderful.
Let me show you what these look like. These are, as always, 80-pound paper, and you can see, in fact, it even says timeless treasures right there. So this beautiful collage.
Right, I love the collage look, the vintage sort of wallpaper look almost back there with the script everywhere. Just gorgeous.
Right, very linen looking, isn't it? Okay, and then we have, these are double-sided, as I said, so we've got this beautiful ghosted back teal, and then an all-over pattern of those roses, and then a ledger paper with timeless treasure on it. So you can see not only the ledger paper, but we're bringing in those roses all over it. And we have the, you can see again, kind of wallpaper looking again, and then a stripe, very thin stripes. And then as we flip these over, you'll see the other side with a variety. We've got dots, we've got more of an all-over pattern, more dots with the browns. This is an ivory, but just a little bit of that ledger look over in the corner. It's very special. Look at this collage paper.
Oh my
Isn't
goodness.
that gorgeous? So
It's just
pretty.
like a walk through the past.
It is.
Beautiful.
It is. And what I love about these papers, which is what you're going to see, is that not only are they good for heritage photos, but they're perfect for contemporary.
And the ribbons that go with this are just gorgeous. You're going to get 12 ribbons, 36 inches of each. You're getting crepe. You're getting that nice Swiss dot on there, sheer. You're getting that beautiful, I love this yellow velvet glitter ribbon, which the glitter doesn't come off, and also brown with that.
2 of them.
Another glimmer ribbon in yellow, a nice wide burgundy crepe, a swirl, and a nice green sheer here. And I love all of the different widths that you're getting with this as well. A green crepe and a great gingham with that.
And the dazzles, as I said, are copper, and we are now doing dazzles where you're going to get 2 different 8x9 sheets. So 79 is the count. Again, you're going to get scrapbook page ideas as well as card ideas on the back, and just going to be beautiful.
There are always some nice sentiments on these, and borders as well.
And as always, the borders come in 6-inch lengths, but you can put them together to create a 12-inch border if you like.
Plus, new foiled fancies. These are frames, 24 foiled die cuts. They are foiled and embossed. They are nice and sturdy, and aren't these going to be great for journaling on? That one in particular is great for that. And then framing photos, framing focals on cards, and you're always going to get ideas on the back as well. These are so easy to use. You just snip them apart. I love the little picture here that shows you the little red bridges of right where you're going to snip those apart. Really easy to follow.
Yes, now we're going to get started, and Theresa said that first she just really wanted to play with the papers and those dazzles, and she really appreciated the designs that are there. Again, they have a vintage appeal with the clogs, with the cars.
So nice collage style with the paper back there being collaged, and then backing your dazzles on a different colored patterned paper. That's a great look.
And we talked about Theresa's Ways with Ribbons yesterday, her new DVD, and this is a technique she uses often, where she's tucking the ribbon behind the paper, gluing it to the front of her card, and then she's tying a knot with another piece of ribbon, and that just squishes those together, and it just is really pretty for those of us who are challenged with bows, and perhaps.
And it's perfect for adding a little tag here, and this was done with the 9 tiny tags and little labels cutting dies. So easy to just cut out one of those little tags and then stamp that little greeting on there.
Even that ribbon up at the top of the watch, that's very, very nice. Now, she did add the teal jewel dazzles to this. On the inside, well, there's another card coming at us, and again, another from the tiny tags and little labels you can see going right there. And beautiful to use those corner pieces, how she's used that on both the front and the back.
And adding the teal jewel dazzles on there too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Scrapbookers, you know that we're going to show you things, and these papers are just so perfect.
Isn't that beautiful? It just lends perfectly to this. Now, what I love about this is that somebody took this photo. This is not an old photo. Somebody just took a new photo of their kids and then just made it black and white, and then it looks vintage, and that's another great way.
It is a good way to do it.
Vintage papers.
And you can see how the dazzles, well, the papers, of course, are just beautiful, and she's done strips of them, which is a really nice technique.
But this is fun too, using the little postcard dazzle, placing it on cardstock, and then just cutting out close, maybe about a 1/16 of an inch away from the outer edges, and it makes a nice little statement there.
And others she simply just placed right down. The corners have also gone just exactly right down. And the border dazzles, you can see how beautiful, what a nice finish. So this is really a pretty quick page to make. And you can see just how wonderfully they reflect, and that will still happen even in a sheet protector.
Beautiful. Okay, what else?
What else? Well, Theresa said that she really thought that those frames were perfect for a window card, and here is her example. And so you can see that now she's taken the foiled fancy and she has rubbed off some of that gold finish.
Just by sanding it. So you've got the frame, you've got a little sanding block, and she said what she did with her sanding block was to just go one way, rather than going back and forth. She wanted nice even lines. Whoops, I sort of let it bend there. Hold it down and just go one direction. You get nice even scratches, is what she mentioned, which is kind of an interesting look. You can, the way I've done it is always sort of to go like that, and that's an interesting way to do it too. But some of those bigger, larger areas, you can see those scratches, and so if you want them going one direction, nice and even, and it's so quick and easy to do.
And you can see it, just a couple of swipes. And so she has used the inner area. She's just cut a window and then put her frame on top, added some pearls to it, and some of the other edges that are included.
Now, Theresa included a pattern for that window, but real briefly, I just wanted to show you. Open up your card. If you place this frame on there and you have a pencil, then you can just mark. So mark with your pencil. And
a pencil will appear just when you need it, just like that.
Hopefully for you, you have somebody standing by like Paulette. Okay, so there we go. Mark those areas, and then what I did is after I marked it, I'm hoping you can, if I turn it this way, then I just drew a little box, just like a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch around those lines, and I knew right where to cut for that window in the front of your card.
And then just cut them out and use your frame on top. And then there is another frame on the inside. Now she has stamped on it and still has done her scratching technique and raised this up with foam tape so that it's going to show inside her frame. And then she's got happy birthday down here, so that works just beautifully.
Beautiful. I love the ribbon behind that.
I was just going to comment on that. Isn't that pretty? And then down here, again, some of those ribbon techniques from the DVD. Now, to join these together, here is a page that combines both the Dazzles and the framed foil fancies together.
Beautiful? And in this case, they've been stamped on using the Fancy Patterns stamp set.
Right.
But she actually used white stays-on to stamp on there, so you kind of have to pick it up a little. It's just a nice light touch, so it doesn't. So you can still see that foiled fancy very well.
Isn't that pretty? And it just adds, again, a subtle technique. And I do appreciate that these papers are so beautiful with contemporary photos as well as vintage. Now we have added the flowers, and these are new for us. They come, I believe it's either 6 or 9 in a package. Maybe it's 6 because they're wide. They're about an inch and a half wide. They are paper flowers. They come with the
leaves and everything, and so they're just beautiful accents for a page like this. I love the doily treatment back there. It's just been inked a little bit.
Right.
See the gallery for the colors that were used.
That's a 6-inch doily. This has got to be one of the best buys around because you get 36 of them and works so well, and inking them is really nice. And you can see you can do journaling behind your frames, as you commented, and more of the Dazzles just beautifully added. So that's really nice.
So that's a gorgeous page.
Just to show you the card that kind of goes along with it. I like seeing how the papers just work so well in a large 12 by 12 as well as a smaller format.
Using the same techniques, just on a smaller scale.
Right, just oh so pretty. Now, I promised you an extra thing, and Gail told you. It's the 3-flower spray.
I couldn't help myself.
I know.
You know, it doesn't look like much right there, but the picture shows you what it looks like.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful look, and look what Theresa has done with it. So it's nice because you get the base behind it as well as that filigree over the top. And she's combined it with our timeless Dazzles, and she's placed this onto the matchbook. These are the Serif surfaces. You get 2 of them, and they come all ready for you. You can see you just tuck that in.
I love that on the front. I just want to quickly point out that here is the die cut itself. Now if you take that and you glue that on top of pattern paper, just where those flowers are, glue that in place, and yep, that's right. Use the Specialist acrylic glue because it has that nice needlepoint tip on there. Very easy to get the glue where you want it, just on those edges, and then cut out around the flowers, and you have a beautiful backed die cut.
And I think it's really pretty on the Dazzle. I mean, that shine just really pops the matte color of the cardstock and the pattern papers. Now, this comes obviously undecorated. There are 2 of them. But what Theresa did is she added, she added a pocket up here.
Isn't that wonderful?
Just a little paper, and then let me just show you how this opens.
That's so like beautiful. It's just that every stage is another reveal of what's going on with this card. Just beautiful with those Dazzles. The pocket is actually a template that is included. Theresa included a template, or a pattern for that. I printed out the pattern on copy paper, and then I cut it out. So there's the pattern, and then I use that to trace right onto the paper. So set that down, go ahead and trace it on the paper, mark where these fold lines are going to be, and then cut that piece out. I did that, and it's hard to see those, but I do have the fold lines on there, and I went ahead and scored them. You just want to fold them back, just like so, and use a bone folder to make that nice, and then glue or tape only on these flaps, and then you glue that in place, and you'll have a pocket for that gift card.
Isn't it pretty how she edged the Dazzles with it? Just
Isn't that
really
beautiful?
nice. And
just cut it even with the edge of the paper.
Then she's got a gift card in there, so you can do that, or just leave it as a beautiful card unto itself. So it's a really nice way to send a greeting in a very special manner. And I've got another card that Theresa did. Now this is a technique that she did in the folded cards forever that we did not mention. And it's kind of this bridge. So she's actually cut apart the front of her card. You can kind of see it there.
And she let the die cut hold it together. So I'd like first to show you that card really quick. She cut it down to a 5-inch wide by 5.5-inch tall. You'll see that in the gallery. The next thing she did was cut the front panel only, and I've got it held together with sticky notes so that I can show you one at a time. She cut this piece, and then there are my sticky notes holding it together, and then she cut a 1/2-inch piece. Remove that, and then when you place this back, you're going to set them up just like that, and your die cuts are going to go just like that to hold it together. Now, to make sure that that die cut was nice and sturdy, she cut 2 of them, and then she glued them together. So you just line it up just like so, and glue that together. So that's this one, it's already glued together. And then she decided to ink it, because you'll see that it's not high grade.
She's got two colors, right.
Two colors. So I've got my little Tim Holtz ink sets here, and I keep them handy in the nice little Tim Holtz ink holders. And I noted that I used number 6, and she used number 10, so it's that row on the top. So I went ahead and got one of those out, and she just used a cosmetic wedge, and you can just
And by the way, we're now offering the cosmetic wedges.
Yay!
Yay, finally.
Oh, good.
Finally.
So now you know right where to find them, and then go ahead and ink, and you can make it lighter or darker. Just go ahead and ink around like that. So make the flowers pink, and then use the green on the leaves on the stem. And you don't have to be perfect about that. It's okay to overlap a little bit. You're still going to get a beautiful look.
And there you go. So very pretty technique. She's added the Dazzle butterflies, I see.
Oh yeah,
that
the gold pearl. And this is another use of the 28 Lilac Lane embellishments. And this one is Just Peachy. I love the names on these. Just Peachy, Cotton Candy, some really fun names. Beads and buttons. Sequins, and you can see the sequins on those butterflies, which I think is really cute.
Yes, very, very nice. We're getting close to see that.
And buttons on the, there's a button there on the bow as well.
A layered
nice
button.
Right, ribbon treatment there.
And then another of the probably tiny tags and little labels that just for you. And then on the inside, we spent so much time on the front, just a very simple version, simply cut out of cardstock and inked or not,
you know, the
and
stamping,
it matches up.
The stamping here, there's a lot of great sentiments you're seeing today, and that came from the layered dahlias stamp set that we saw last week.
Right.
And here I mean, there are vines, there are great sentiments with this, so this can be used in a lot of different areas.
Right, so a beautiful look. Very, very nice. Very fun thing to have along with our Timeless collection.
So, Timeless, you can make some gorgeous things with it, including using those great foiled fancies and those beautiful Dazzles.
Not to mention the gorgeous papers
and
our new cutting die, wherever I've got it buried here. So lots of fun things. And speaking of which, we're going to have more for you tomorrow, so please join us.
Yay, see you then.